Once there was a hunter who saw what others could not. With a magic case in her backpack, she roamed with wild abandon into the great unknown. Her gaze inescapable, her reflexes lightning fast. When armies swarmed, she went through. With eyes open wide, hands steady, holding, watching, capturing everything in sight.
The Crucial Pro DDR5 RAM kit comes with a sleek, modern look that will complement any build. But aesthetics aside, it's the performance that really matters. So let's dive into it. The default JEDEC timings are 46, 45, 45, but it does come with 2 XMP and Expo settings for those looking for a little more performance. With XMP 3.0 Profile 1, you can push the speed up to 5600 megatransfers per second. If you prefer a slightly lower speed but tighter timings, Profile 2 offers 5200 megatransfers per second at 42, 42, 42 timings. We've run some benchmarks and stress tests to give you an idea of how it performs. In general, dropping the speed and tightening the timings with the second XMP/Expo profile yielded better results for us on our test system. Paired with a Ryzen 7800X 3D, we saw anywhere from a 1 to 5% performance bump depending on workloads. All in all, the Crucial Pro DDR5 64GB RAM kit by Micron is a fantastic choice for first-time builders and enthusiasts alike.
Hey guys, welcome to the Esports Presents Showdown series, Season 6 of Valorant, powered by Crucial by Micron. Our GP partner is Zodiac Gaming and media partner is Gossip.gg. But it's me, Raider. Along with me, we do have Anna on the desk. And I want to ask you, Anna, you said that it's going to be a 2-0 in the very first action. Any idea or any guesses for us that which one is going to be that particular team that who is going to get a 2-0?
Well, I mean, I've not seen play 120 FPS play as much, but I think DUPG might just be able to close it on a 2-0. I might be completely wrong, and that's the complete excitement of it, not knowing exactly what's going to happen, but still starting off with
still saying that it's a 2-0.
Yeah.
Nice. That's fun, guys. That is a privilege that you get to have when you are a caster, because you can say that it's a 2-0 without even knowing that which particular team is actually there as an opponent. I'm looking forward to it, how that equation is going to turn out, because yesterday, if you see, the very first action was basically a 2-1, but then we got to see a 2-0 as well. ZeroFrags.exe, unfortunately, they're outside the competition. But let's talk about the stakes as well, Anna.
Absolutely. This is quite a huge prize pool, and that makes it even more interesting to see how these teams are going to go ahead and compete, because for that prize pool, I mean, you could always go ahead and say all is fair in love and war for this one. The love for the prize pool and the war with the opponent team.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a war. There's going to be a beautiful championship that is going to be on the stakes, and at the same point there is going to be a lot of fight, and strategies, to be honest, are going to be equally important, to be honest, because yesterday we got to see a particular team using a lot of fakes. They are trying to roam around the map, figure out maybe it's B entry or maybe it's trying to be A entry or B entry. So they were trying to explore a lot of options. But on the other side, if you talk about ZeroFrags, they were on the back foot. But let's talk about the formats, guys. We will get to know how the whole equation goes out, because initially we had the open qualifiers from 11 to 15 November, which was basically single elimination. That means a BO1, a single map in which if you win, if you beat your opponent, you're there in the playoffs. And in playoffs, the top 8 teams were there. And I think from those top 8, now we are left with just top 6.
Yep, and these six also will be very soon dropping their opponents off and leading towards the grand finals that are going to happen to on 23rd of November. However, everyone is going to have the second chance at being able to be a part of this because there is a lower bracket as well, which we saw yesterday itself. But today it's going to be about the upper semifinals. Let's take a look at the overall brackets for that.
Talking about that, the very first matchup that we're going to witness is going to be 120 FPS versus DUPG eSports. Then we do have X-Crew versus Asterix as well. So if you talk about this day, the semi-finals, I believe it's going to be very intriguing because you're just one step away from the upper bracket finals, from where the road to grand finals is going to be pretty clear. You are either going to drop to the lower bracket finals or maybe in the grand finals if you kind of win against your opponent. So that's going to be pretty fun to watch how all of that is going to compute. But at the same point, there is a cushion. There is a good chance for these lads because even if one of these teams falls down, which is bound to happen, they still will have an option to play in the lower bracket round 2. They will have a chance to come back once again from lower bracket round 2 to lower bracket round 3, then finals, and then coming back once again in the grand finals probably for a redemption. So it's going to be pretty fun to watch, but that is not the case for the lower bracket teams. So I do believe that this advantage that the upper bracket teams have got right now, they would love to retain that advantage. They would love to be in the upper bracket till the end of the competition, till the grand finals comes through. So I think, yeah, there is going to be a fun segment which we are going to witness today in the upper bracket semi-finals.
Absolutely. And I think considering these are the teams that put the lower bracket teams where they are, they definitely have much more caliber and much more, charisma into their gameplay. And very soon, DUPG Esports and 120 FPS will be showing us their true colors on the maps that they pick. And I think for that, we should take a look at who all are going to be contributing to this overall gameplay that we're going to witness today.
From DUPG Esports' side, let's talk about their roster. Well, we have Disease, we have A-Star, Caramel, NV2K, and Hybrid. I would like to tell you guys that Caramel and A-Star, if you already don't know, these are two individuals who are absolutely amazing when it comes to individual game style, and the way they have evolved from Season 3 is something on a different level. That is why I'm pretty excited that, DUPG Esports is going to put on a pretty fierce competition today, honestly. And at the same point, when it comes to individuals like Disease and NV2K, NV on a Yoru, super phenomenal. I would love to see if there are maps like maybe Bind, in which Yoru is a go-to particular agent. I would love to see if somebody is going to choose that duelist or not. At the same point, Hybrid, pretty big expectations from this lad as well, because against them, the competition coming in from 120 FPS is equally well built.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, the way the DUBG lineup is showing up here, I mean, I remember seeing these players being like fantastic in their gameplay, but their opponents, as you mentioned, are going to be just as equally high caliber. So let's take a look at them. And there's okay, I recognize quite a lot of talent from here. I've seen a lot of good gameplay from NZ as well. I might want to withdraw my 2-0 statement.
Cool, now that's one way to back out, right? NZ, Homeboy, Zaps, Prime, and Greeny. These are the 5 individuals who are there from the sides of 120 FPS, and I do believe that individuals are great, but at the same point, similar question once again raises in my mind that individuals are also pretty awesome in 05.exe, but it's all about how you compose yourself in a particular match and how you synergize with your teammates, and what kind of adaptation is there in your playstyle or not. When it comes to PUBG Esports, we have seen certain adaptations where duelists have started to play Sentinels, where Sentinels have gone to controllers, depending on the team's requirement and the newer addition of individuals. Whoever is coming to the team, the other 4 members are trying to adapt onto that. But is it the same case for 120 FPS? Well, it was the same case till yesterday. Today is a day where things might change for 120 FPS, or they might just outshine PUBG Esports. You never know, and that's why I am personally with an open slate. Never know what's going to happen, how it's going to happen. But obviously, the BO3 is something where a lot of things might change, because it really depends which particular maps are going to come through. According to the map, are there certain agent selections that are going to be conventional, or they're going to change their picks? Because we have seen lately in Season 4 and Season 5 in Ascent, a lot of deadlocks are coming through. But yesterday, when it comes to Season 6, the start of Season 6, we did not got to see a lot of deadlock coming through. Not even a single map was there with deadlock coming into the picture. So obviously, these are the individuals who are setting up the meta in this segment in the Indian gaming community. I'm looking forward to see what they're going to bring to the table today.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's definitely going to be very crucial to find out which maps are going to be in play, which agents are going to be picked on those particular maps, because that not only gives you an insight on the overall play style of the team, but also
Yeah.
an insight on whether or not they're going to be as team play dependent as you would expect. Because yesterday, as we saw the first map between Zero Frags and Eravata just went
Mhm.
in with a double duelist composition. Even though that requires a lot of synergy, it definitely made it a very isolated game where they had two of their players playing Sentinel and Control on a completely different side of the map, just taking care of their own
Yeah.
business, while the initiator was making space for the duelists, and the duelists were constantly backing each other up. So it was like, if there was still synergy, but not in a way where all five had to work together at all times. It was more divided into three people slot and a two people slot. So that's easier to grasp for teams who do not have a lot of teamwork inculcated, but a lot of individual brilliance. And I want to see
Okay.
if that's going to show up from any of these teams, and how that can affect the other team on the same grounds.
I agree. At the same point, it's a strategy that we usually get to see from a lot of teams. Like, they are trying to bifurcate their team in between two, and they are trying to show their presence on both the sides and confusing their defenders at the same point. So it's pretty interesting that how it will pan out in this segment. But when it comes to a triple-sided map like Haven, I don't think so. This approach is going to work a lot, because you might get isolated and you might get challenged. There is a sequence. There was some matches, if I'm not wrong, in the very first match yesterday we got to see in Haven, that the plays were contested on C, and the other three were trying to push on A. Now you are already undermined when it comes to the manpower. You're trying to push in. Maybe there are certain other individuals who are again holding angles, because that is the best part as a defender you get. You can hold on angles. You can hear on the audio cues. You can wait. You can show the trigger discipline. But for attackers, that ticking time bomb of the timer is something that you need to adhere to. You need to know when you need to enter. Like, we have seen a lot of flanks. We have seen a lot of fakes. But at 30-second marker, you need to commit. You need to commit to a particular site. I know that it takes just 3 to 4, 5 seconds to plant and eventually take the site control, but at the same point, in order to expand yourself, in order to build a good postman scenario, you still need to have at least 30 seconds in the map, so that you can maybe particularly fan out and check other nook and crannies while your teammate is planting the spikes. All of that is obviously going to be counted when it comes to a particular map. So I'm looking forward to see. First of all, the first thing that matters to me right now is the maps. What are the maps that are going to be chosen?
Absolutely. And well, here we are. Your wish has been the command for the day. And we have Ascent, Haven, and Sunset. Pretty fantastic maps, all three of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, defense-oriented map to start it off, and then we have a triple-sided map, which is again going to be a little bit hefty for the attackers, because when it's a triple-sided map, I do believe that the defenders are again on TP2, because they need to fan out in garage, B, C, and A side as well. But at the same point, when it comes to the attackers, they can kind of, should I say, go to a particular site. They can decide that this is the particular site where we're going to push, and maybe there is not a lot of defenders which are trying to keep that particular site, so you can have an easy access. That's what I pretty much believe, specifically in the pistol round, where you can just be a choo-choo train and just push in on a particular site in these triple-sided maps. So I am definitely open to see what is going to happen in map 2, but a pretty conventional map to start it off, and that is Ascent.
Absolutely. And on all three maps, DUPG Esports has decided to go attack first, and it's going to be defense first for the side of 120 FPS. So
Right.
it does look like there's going to be super aggressive first half, because the way the lineup from the side of DUPG Esports has shown up, we know quite a few players from their side are capable of just going and taking those fights and, individually going ahead and showing their dominance on the map as quickly as possible. And being on the attacking side will just give them a little more control of the pacing of the game, because they get to decide which side to hit, how to start putting their approach, while the defense is slightly on a reactive side on all of these maps.
I'm looking forward to it, how the decider fans out as well. Sunset, after the latest iteration in the particular map, we have already seen that the attackers are now getting a blessing in disguise, specifically onto a particular side. That is going to be very, very important. How you enter the B side, how you kind of capitalize in it, and for the attackers, again, in a particular side, you get the advantage of now pushing in, and the plant is a bit more covered up. So all of those small changes in the bottom mid, sorry, and also on the side, are definitely making this map even more interesting right now. Because initially, if you talk about Sunset, we used to see that if defenders are well equipped, if they have trigger discipline, if they are communicating to each other, I do believe they are definitely on an edge. They definitely look pretty strong on those moments. But anyway, guys, let's dive into the agent select as well, because now we do have the clarity of the map, which is Ascent for the first map. Let's see if it's a conventional approach or something different, because so far the defenders from 120 FPS, they are going conventional. It's just a smoke that they are left with. I think Prime might actually go with a Omen as well.
Very, very true. That could definitely be the case, and it is. I mean, it's a better composition from both the sides. They have gone full conventional on this. I I was very
Yeah.
much wanting to see a double duelist on Ascent for some reason. I want to see those fast hits. I want to see those I know instant action and full aggression on this map, because this has been one of those maps which has had the same kind of lineup being used on a really long time. It's been a while since we've seen the agent select get altered at all
Yeah,
on this map, and
exactly.
I really wanted that staleness to be taken away. But well, it is what it is, and we're gonna be moving in with the same exact agent select as every single time before.
See, the problem with Ascent and different agents is basically that all of the agents that you might actually bring you to the table are only going to work if you have a proper support built in within the team, and if you have the proper synergy with your teammates. Because
Yeah.
yesterday we got to see .exe, if I'm not wrong, they chose a breach in this particular map and they struggled.
Mhm.
Breach definitely is a very good initiator at the same point, but we cannot rely on it specifically in these maps, because those fault lines, those flash points may not work. But at the same point, KO is a far better agent when it comes to the map of Ascent, because it can give you A, the info, B, suppress the players, and at the same point, those mollies can hurt you a lot in the post one scenario. If you have a good lineup, it can help you a lot. Those flashes can actually give you a lot of entry. And honestly, when it comes to KO's flash, it is one of the toughest to uh, deceive. And at the same point, when it comes to Sky, I believe in other maps we have seen Sky a lot, specifically in Split. But when it comes to Ascent, yes, I think that changing the main meta that is there of these 5 agents is a little bit difficult, and it only can happen when you have that support built in within your team.
True that, true that. And I mean, I do believe that these two teams are also going to be trying to go ahead and switch things up a little, even though they have not changed the agents that they're playing. They might just go ahead and bring in something new to the table, just like our producer has brought in a fact box on it. Do you want to take the lead on that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, as of October 2024, PUBG Esports held the 51st rank in the Asia Pacific region with a rating of 1539 and a record of 13 wins and 6 losses. That's interesting. I mean, that clearly shows that PUBG is here to dominate. But obviously, guys,
Yep.
that is past. Maybe in November, something different is going to happen.
Very well may, very well may. But well, let's see how this team is trying to approach the current situation. It seems like Caramel is trying to take lead in the invasion. He has control of tree area, and once he claims that, the team is gonna start moving
Uh-oh.
in. He, I am so upset with so many players who have such fantastic gameplay history to just go in ahead and not check their corners.
In V2K, he also goes down. One in the heaven, another one in the gem. Disease goes down, but Hybrid, he found a pick, but finally it's a near flawless win coming in from the sides of 120 FPS. That's a brilliant play coming in from their sides. As a defender, this is what you need to do. Wait for it, because your attacker might overcompensate. They might overstep the boundaries, and that's exactly what happened from the sides of WG. And look at them falling like a bunch of cards. Initially, it was A Star and then Caramel. Finally, Disease and Hybrid. These were the two who got contended as well. So yeah, the first round was not that good, but they have planted, so they can go for a decent buy if they want to. Like they can bring in Stingers or Spectres if they really want to go all in. But obviously it's a BO3, so for that reason I don't think so that's gonna be the same case. They might like let it go. They might lose one more round, but after that they might come back once they have the full buy.
Might very well. However, I do feel that there's a lot more that needs to happen. This was probably taken as just one, yet another, pistol round, without putting way too much thought into it. They did get their plant in, putting them in an economical advantage, but then again, it was the first ever round they lost, so it's not going to give them enough economy to be able to just go ahead and barrage everyone with their weapons. But they're still going to be able to survive a little bit longer. I am still looking for much more, and yeah, obviously this is just the beginning of the game, so I'm gonna have to wait for that.
We all have to, because that was just the first round. There was a clear struggle from the sides of DUPG, and they thought that they can just roam around, get some good picks. And at the same point, if you see, Karamel was pretty stoked. He decided to first of all push in from the tree, got those utils out, and then eventually was trying to push in. Never really worked out. Outlaw is available. This is going to be a fierce weapon, and there you go. NZ is going to find Karamel. Once again, one of the earliest one to fall down. Now, right behind, we do have Disease as well, the KO. Let's see if he's going to suppress, if he's going to get some info. He decided to go with it initially. But one good shot, as you are already on maybe a half shield or maybe no shield, that Outlaw can easily put you down. But 3 players are peeking right now.
Well, all of them ready and set for the fight, but not gonna be able to give much more than just a trade. Good enough for the side of DUPG though,
NZ?
being able to drop a weapon. Oh, wow. Okay. That just didn't turn
Maybe
out
there's a
very
technical
good for the
difficulty.
side of FPS, yeah.
Hybrid literally walked in, and the Omen took the fight, got a sheriff pick. Now there's another blunder being done. Zaps, always have that weapon in your hand, and at the same point, do not run like that, because until unless the plant is done, if you do that, you might lose. But look at this classic Omen tactics. Sit in the dark covers, wait for it, and just shut your opponent down. There you go, a redemption coming in just in the second round, and that's how DUPG Esports wanted to turn the tails in their favor. Now they do have a good round under their control, and apart from that, they were playing on sheriffs. So I think this
Yup.
third one clearly looks like it will go in the favor of DUPG.
Absolutely. They have built up economy and also recovered quite a few good weapons from the other side. I mean, I'm not as sure that on the attacking side, Judge will be able to give you as much fruit as it does on the defensive side, but that's still a good enough weapon, specifically on a agent that is as mobile as Jet is.
Yeah. Suppress. Cannot use their utils, but similar things are happening on NV2K as well. For long ranges, this guy has got a sheriff, but this shock dart is definitely gonna hurt. Oh my god! A-Star puts Prime down with 2 shock darts. Zaps on the other corner will put down the Jet. Feeny is still surviving. The Mage Pink Sheriff is working in his favor. Spots and takes one away again. But Karamel, this time he will not bow down. Last man standing.
Last player
120
standing.
FPS. Oh, homeboy gets it. Nah, Vandal is gonna be
Not
better.
for very
Disease
long.
will not miss. Yeah.
Yep. Running on a round that had very little investment from the side of DUPG, 2 rounds consecutively. So little investment and yet such a big reward on both of them. Being able to not only convert the rounds but also punish the opposite team to the point that their economy is completely in shambles right now. They are going to be able to afford the right weapons nonetheless. But that's not going to be enough because very soon they'll have to start making trade-offs between weapons and utils. And as we all know, being on the defensive side, if you don't have enough util to go ahead and retake, that's going to be difficult because so far 3 rounds and all 3 the plant has gone in.
Updraft dashed in right in the market. Disease on the other corner finds NZ. That was a good info revealed by NV2K. The dark covers once again. These Omen wants to be nasty, but at the same point, Greeny finds one. There was a fragment that NV2K was trying to avoid. Never really was effective. And the swarms, in order to push the players out from the tree, a paranoia comes through. Omen definitely trying his level best to
The
find.
timing.
Get all.
Placing alarm bot.
Ramal was right there, so he was like, yeah, I'm going to go for the plan. Disease on the other corner finds one more, and that's Prime taken away. Zaps shuts down Disease.
Standing.
On top of
The
Haven, Greeny goes
coordination.
down.
I'm loving the coordination coming in from the side of DUPG. The way these guys are supporting each other. Like, one person might be in the face of death, almost staring into it, and they still give out that information so quickly and in such crisp manner that there's always someone else waiting to take advantage of that mishap. Like, I am impressed. Paint me impressed. I do want to see 120 FPS to just go ahead and challenge the same with enough caliber. But yeah, so far it seems like DUPG is just running very smooth.
It's just not the trade files for me which is impressing me. It is also the decisions, the quick decisions that these lads are making. Like, see, if talk about the initiation, they entered from B, decided to go in the market. They could have taken the B side, but they decided to go A. that clearly shows that what kind of decisions they are making, and they're very quick on their feet, and it's not like they're second guessing their IGL and they're just completely abiding the commands and they're just pushing on a particular side, getting the info, trying to get at least one or two trades at the same point if somebody of their team has been taken away. But the previous round was pretty fun. Now this tactical timeout may bring some X factor into the sides of 120 FPS because their planning needs to be a little bit better as they are the defenders, and in a defense oriented map, if you are still failing as a defender, I think there is something that is not working, and that thing needs to be addressed. Otherwise, situations are going to be even more dire when it comes to the attacking half.
I agree. I completely agree. On a map which is supposed to be a breezier one for the defensive side, this is definitely not looking good for the side of 120 FPS. But well, we're only 4 rounds in. We still have a long way to go before the half changes. So there's still time to go ahead and change things around. But that's going to require a lot of relentless effort from the side of 120 FPS. Look at NV2K, how far deep in he already is. The team has way too much area control.
They're already pushed in pizza. We have another individuals trying to hold, but market area is pretty much vacated, so nobody is trying to contest mid. You do have the sentinels. You can actually put a alarm bot over there so that you can have info and play in a much more easier way. But it seems like that they're concerned about mid, and that's why KO is right there. He's trying to like either go to tree or he's trying to check the mid. But now Disease, he has already taken the mid control and he's out here in defender side spawn, pretty close to it, right? So
Yep.
it's gonna be a tough one for the sides of 120 FPS, and that too when they don't have the proper buy. I do believe that they're going to have pretty much huge amount of challenge out here, and they will maybe get taken down. But this Bucky will not work. Would have worked in the close range. Oh no. What? Prime. I think with that recon, the position was revealed and he just completely went bonkers with it.
That he did, but the way DUPG Esports is fanning, it's just amazing. They took a real long time to find out where they really wanted to hit. They also gave a fake information towards side A by leaving that cloudburst out there. But then the way the mid control was acquired and held on to for a really long time gave a good enough opportunity for them to just sandwich site B and enter into it that easily. I am just loving the way the rounds are coming in. And on top of all of that, we have 4 ultimates ready for the side of DUPG Esports with only 2 kills remaining for Envy to be able to go ahead with his as well. This is gonna be a bombastic, explosive round if those come into play. Oh, goodness. Envy?
That was perfect. That was perfect from the sides of NV. But NZ on the other corner is like, yeah, I'm also not going to stay back. Greeny goes down. They need to put down this operator. It's a big investment, 4,700 creds. If they are able to somehow take him away, get that control, that will be better. But it's 3v4. It is doable, but Karaman is like, nah, we are going to undermine your manpower even more. NV switches back to a Vandal, gets a beautiful value. NZ on the other corner. Last man standing. Would be eyeing to save,
Oh,
but
that
Karaman,
crisp.
and he's super good aim. He's not going to let it go that easily. Look at this. The op is down 4,700 creds. That's a big investment coming in. It's down right now. I think NV is also getting ready with the Blade Storm. So maybe the next round we are going to see some beautiful knives flying from A to B.
Very well might happen. Very well might happen. However, it seems like DUPG Esports is neither interested nor
Everybody
invested
is there
in
with the
actually
ults.
using. Exactly. I mean, DUPG literally had 4 of the ults online in the last round as well. It's not even like they're interested in using those anymore. But yeah, from the side of 120 FPS, this could definitely turn out to be one of the situations that can be the X factor that wins them around, because it's been a while since they did.
The first round, the pistol. In that round, we clearly saw WG pretty weak. They were trying to explore different angles. It never really worked out for them. But lately, if you see, they're aggressing. They're being effective. In smoke,
Oh,
there's
goodness.
one on the right. Shuts him away. But Homeboy
Look
is going to
at
find a
that.
beautiful trade. But at the same point, Disease. That is how you need to play. That is how a team should function. Because it's not the deathmatch that we are talking about. We are talking about a complete 5-5 showdown. NZ on the other corner has pulled out the knives. The Blaze Storm is activated. Paranoia. Gen control has been taken away. Sentinel is down, so that turret is not going to be of any value. Under heaven, there is already a guy who's trying to take the control, and now finally the confirmation has come that the plan is going to
Spike
happen.
planted.
But what about Caramel? Is he going to check?
He is watching.
Might just well.
He is watching.
Sheesh! Bro.
Oh goodness. He didn't even move a
Player
lot.
standing.
Caramel didn't even move a lot. He just saved himself with the sheer paranoia that comes out of his own aura.
Yeah, yeah.
He scared NZ, even though NZ was on those blade storms. Goodness, this dude is just going bonkers right now.
We often talk about the trigger discipline, but this guy was playing with fear. Look at NZ. Oh, look at that. Caramel also,
Oh,
I
he
mean,
did.
almost a full mag. 19
Yep.
bullets, but still, at the end, he's the better one, so we cannot criticize that, right?
True that. True that. Look at him with
Now
8
NZ wants
frags
to
on
go
board
for the knob.
in.
Yeah.
I mean,
In 7 rounds, 8 frags, because of the fact that all of those teammates are popping off, so it's justified.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I am liking the way this game is unfolding. That anticipation brought down all the way to 30 HP only. Definitely not the round that could have been capitalized with that
You should
operator.
run.
And here's a lockdown coming in from the attacking side. Caramel utilizes his lockdown, waiting to get an entry and a null command as well. There you go. An added effect of suppression.
Look at that
That
support.
fragment is also going to push the players back. Hybrid is going to go for the plant.
Spike
The Omen will be
planted.
successful with the plant, but at the same point, breaking open the market doors, trying to exchange the fights. Caramel has been taken away. A-Star holding the copy region. I mean, A-Star is also a phenomenal individual, but we have not yet seen him in a lot of action. Well, he gets one, instantly gets traded off as well. Both the players are stuck in the boathouse now. This is where things can be a little bit more challenging, and there you go. Shock dart to put the player away.
Well, finally.
Finally. Yeah.
I still believe that that's a very expensive round. It's been super expensive for both of the teams nonetheless. However, I don't think DUPG is going to be facing as much economic disadvantage of it. They did not really end up being able to, save most of their ultimates. They did end up investing 2 of them and still losing the round. But I think that's not something they're going to be worried about just yet, because being on the attacking side, having 6 rounds in the first half is good enough on a map of Ascent. And they're still looking at 4 more rounds left to go. So I don't think they're going to be disappointed at all.
Yeah, you have already done half of the job. Like 50% of the rounds are already in your favor, so DUPG is going to be pretty happy. But I think if DUPG wants to be happy, they need at least 2 more rounds. 8-4 could be a very ideal scoreline in their favor, so I'm looking forward to it if they can convert it under the name. 120 FPS on the other corner. Every single approach so far that they have taken has not really worked out. But Envy on the other corner shows the attacking op. Takes a few more shots.
Found them.
All drone. Lambot has been triggered, but at the same point, what has been destroyed. NV2K has already pushed in deep onto the B side. But once again, if you see, Omen is right there on catwalk on the top mid area. But the reveal is done. What will he find? Prime pretty confused about 2 different targets. Here comes the fragment as well. Homeboy finds disease. KO goes down.
Get out of my way.
So far, there is no entry onto the exact site. They're trying to go for the plant. Will it happen?
Last player standing.
NZ, Prime. What about the KJ? Homeboy also goes down. There you go. 7-2.
This is just unimaginable. The way DUPG is functioning is unimaginable. It was quite a difficult situation that they created even after being revealed, that too from a person who was literally standing in the cover of a smoke. Prime and Zaps were both hiding right inside the dark cover. They could have used all their potential to go ahead and fight those 2 players, but they were just constantly being chased. It's just something you cannot find the answers for that quickly.
Fragment, Hunter's Fury, Nano Swarms, making sure that all the players who are in close proximity
Enemy
are
kill.
now out. Ooh, that is not good. NZ, it's gonna hurt you. Prime could be the next
Quite a
target.
lot.
Get spotted.
Duck.
KO. Maybe KJ as well? No, Prime gets taken away. KJ can backstab.
One enemy
KJ with the
remaining.
Spectre. Homeboy finds a brilliant frag, but NB2K already down to 3. One last individual. He's left, but mid dash. Unfortunately, a headshot gets connected. It's Zaps who's going to find that value. But a trade coming in from Ace. Only a Sova can hunt a Sova. That is pretty justified.
Absolutely. Well, we already have an 8 on the scoreline for the side of DUPG, but if they get even one more round from here, things are going to be looking very difficult for the side of 120 FPS.
True.
I am starting to get kind of worried for them. And as you mentioned, like, Ascent is one of those maps where you keep having the same agents over and over, but it still looks like a completely different match every single time a different team comes and approaches it. That is because the way you synergize with your team completely changes the way the game unfolds. And I need to see 120 FPS go ahead and synergize that well. Their individual brilliance is not going to get them anywhere for this one.
The best part, it is a pick for.
Spike down
It is a pick of
A.
20 FPS, 120 FPS, honestly. They have
Yeah.
chosen this map,
Enemy remaining.
but they are failing in this particular map because the way domination is coming in from the sides of DUPG is just uncanny.
planted.
There's no answer. And V2K and all the other individuals coming in from the sides of DUPG eSports are just looking good. But 120 FPS, homeboy, the last man standing, the Sentinel has got a Guardian to work with. Will he find some value? Let's wait and watch. Disease is holding a good spot, but as soon as he peaks, maybe he's gonna get shut down. Yeah, he gets spotted.
Enemy down.
There you go. That's exactly what I said, because with Guardian, you do have 100% first bullet accuracy. And that's the best part. But now it's battle of the KJs, the Killjoys. Who's gonna have the last breathe in this action? That's what I want to watch. But at the end, Caramel. He knows that there is a first bullet accuracy
Last round
with Guardian,
in
but
the
at the same
half.
point, this guy has got
Last
accuracy on
round to
every
use our
single
crits
bullet,
and a bit-
be it a Vandal or a Phantom or a Guardian itself.
I mean, did we ever have a doubt on Caramel on that matter? Did we ever?
Never.
Like, there's a reason those leaderboards are not shifting for a while. Like, I don't think we saw Caramel in season 5, and still he's up there in the top 3. So
Let's go.
Attacking op. My IGL always praises me for that, I think. But anyway, guys.
praises.
Sports. Yeah, matlab, at the same point, you can take it in a different way. Disease finds NZ. That's a brilliant frag. Assisting with the paranoia. Alarm bot down. Look at these guys. They have read their opponents like a textbook. But Envy, they walked right in the trap. Asa takes a trade. Homeboy. He finds a ring shot as well. Last individual KO versus KO. Disease goes down. Greeny is going to find. Maybe it's a curse now.
Switching
Maybe,
sides.
maybe not. You never know. But we'll find out very soon because the sides are swapped already. We just have about 37 seconds of this buy phase before we walk into the game. But yeah, in the Challenger League 2024 South Asia Split 3 Open Qualifiers, NZ achieved a rating of 1.38 and an average combat score ACS of 268. That's impressive. However,
Very decent.
NZ, yeah, he will also need the support from his rest of the team for being able to go ahead and change this result, though.
Right. You have to have that kind of approach where your teammates are going to help you. Maybe there is a day where you're not popping off like the way you usually do. So on those dates, obviously your teammates need to get some value for the team. So far, NZ, he is looking decent. It's not like NZ is not getting all those frags and he's just getting undermined. No, it's not like that. He is definitely getting a lot of value for the team. But still, as a team, the functioning of Team 120 FPS, specifically on the defense side, was not that good. And that's why you can clearly see that also on their attack round, they're just being very patient. What they're waiting for is basically a mistake done from the sides of DUPG eSports, which they did in the first half. If you guys remember the pistol round, they kind of overcompensated, they overpushed their boundaries and then got taken away. But in this one, they are showing the trigger discipline. They're just waiting to see if somebody is going to swing, pop off, Then they are going to put them away. Hybrid puts a dark cover and now he's suppressed. A flash. None of that is going to be valuable. But Envy wants to walk right into the dark covers.
Oh,
What?
God.
Timing!
Here.
The timing, definitely the timing. Caramel, however, does get picked off. Not without taking any frags of his own, though. This is a 4v2 now. The attacking side is definitely in
seconds
trouble,
left.
but they're gonna be able to put that plant in. Look
Oh
at
my God,
that!
disease.
That was. He's infecting everyone right now.
No more. Shock dart.
He just waited because he knew the mistake that I did in the last round, it is going to get repeated from the other side as well.
True that.
Because remember guys, in the 12th round, similar thing happened to him. Got taken away while jumping, while trying to peek. Similar things happening here on the other corner as well. But 10-3 already. 13 rounds and we are already down to like 10 from a particular side. This one
Yep,
might
it's
just be a
already
quick
double
one.
digits.
Yeah.
Might very well be. I wasn't expecting it to be though. Wait, did I just see Kang Kang there? Did I just see Kang Kang? I noticed someone with a very flat screened position on their monitor.
Yeah. 10-3. Outlaws out. NV2K. Absolutely impressive with his trigger discipline and the aim that this guy has got. And obviously, when you have Jet, those dashes, updrafts are super valuable.
Cannot use
But
that.
Aries could have been valuable. A-star, he also gets revealed with the help of that recon dart. And 120 is, if he zaps on the other corner, is going to put down A-star. That's brilliant. He knew that it's a paper thin wall, and of course, he's a Sova. He will try to go all in. With the Guardian, you do get accuracy as well. Realize that. Got a value. And look at this. 120 FPS, even after losing their previous round, they are going all in. They are heavily invested in this round as well.
Yep. Very heavily. And they have to be. They have to be. It's way too far in into the score lines for them to just wait for one more round to get their weapons up. So, I mean, very expectedly, once they lost so many players when they were left with the last two, they went for the plan to be able to afford weapons. But weapons are not gonna win you rounds. You have to win the round to win the round. Goodness.
Creamy! I feel for you, man. He just walked in, had a weapon, damaged the Jet, but at the end, there was a trade coming in from the other side. And that's the best part for DUPG ESPORTS because they're ready with the trade fires. Quick on their feet, knows when to rotate, and they knew that the timer is running super low. There is going to be a commitment, and if they're committed B side, they're not going to go rotate back to A because that's a disadvantage. If you want to play like that, you might just be on the losing end. And currently, 120 FPS is actually on the losing end, and there is a massive difference. A difference of 8 big rounds. 11-3.
Yep.
Not the ideal score that we were expecting. DUPG ESPORTS, they want to end this one pretty quickly. But is it going to happen? Because we have seen when the score hits 11, the losing team just starts popping off.
Yeah, they start getting this surge of willpower and commitment towards being able to win the round. But well, I think for that they're gonna need more than just the will, because right now it doesn't seem like they're gonna even have the economy to go for it. Being on the defensive side, and that too with every single utility you can expect or want to be able to convert the rounds is humongous. And Caramel, oh my god. He is literally a win factor in himself. You cannot challenge that.
Whoa! That was a good wall bangable shot. Greeny goes down. But
Player
still,
standing.
DUPG ESPORTS was undermined right now because they just have one last individual, that is NV2K, I believe. He's a last ray of hope. He was walking in, gets spotted, but still finds the value. Opening up the door. NZ, I think he's facing a technical difficulty maybe.
Maybe.
No.
Enemy remaining.
He's super low,
goodness.
and there you go.
Spike down
Beautiful
A.
shot, he right on the face. It was a body shot at the end.
30 seconds left.
NV versus NZ.
I don't
Interesting.
think
He is
NZ
swinging his
is.
knife, but yeah.
Yeah, this one is done and dusted.
A match point, that too in the 15th round, 14th
10
round, sorry.
seconds left.
That is way too quick for an action to get over, and that too in the upper bracket semis. Was not expecting that for sure. Was not expecting that because 120 FPS on the other corner. If you see, they were pretty good
that
against their
hurts.
opponent, and the way they
heavy.
made sure that EXO is going to drop.
Match point.
Not EXO, but they were able to beat Celestials with the 2-0. Yeah.
Yep.
According to the brackets, it was Celestial Esports who got taken away from the upper bracket quarterfinals, and that's how 120 FPS got their spot against DUPG in the upper bracket semis. And out here, it seems like that they're facing a tough time. It's a big challenge for them. Last one particular fight is all they need, DUPG Esports. But it's a tech pass, all thanks to what NZ is facing, a technical difficulty probably. So we'll wait for him. But so far, it seems like that 12-3, that's a massive difference. And I don't see a recovery from that.
I mean, DUPG is literally one mistake away from winning. One single mistake from the side of 120 FPS could result into DUPG just taking the throne for this one. However, there's going to be 2 more maps, so nothing to really worry about, but definitely a very good safety net already built in for DUPG. This tech pass could result in their momentum getting broken down. Could be something to look forward to, but I think we're way too far into the game already to see that make enough difference for this map to have a different result.
I mean, see, the momentum might shift, but how much? As you rightly called it out, there is just one mistake that PUBG needs from the sides of 120 FPS, and they're just going to capitalize on it. And so far, in the second half, if you see, there are not a lot of mistakes that PUBG has done. Obviously, that overcompensation in the second round was something that is pretty much not something that you expect. But still, at the end, even in this third round, we got to see like PUBG was left with just NV2K. He pulled off a 1v2, otherwise it was near impossible at that point because he had an outlaw and the opponents had bulldogs. They had weapons like Sheriff. NV on the other corner, NZ sorry, on the other corner had also some weapons to work with. Yeah, he had an outlaw. So obviously it is going to be a bit difficult equation whenever you leave your team like that. Like 4 members are down, one last individual is surviving, and he has to pull off a 1v3, that too with an outlaw. It is difficult. But when NV2K decides to go all in, we can clearly see that how effective he can be. And on top of all of that, the mental balance that PUBG has got right now is also pretty much on par because they're leading by 9 rounds.
Yep. They're leading by thrice the number of rounds that's already there for 120 FPS. That's a huge climb. So you never know what the future holds for 120 FPS, but this particular map definitely seems to be going towards PUBG. And the fact that this was chosen by 120 FPS, the next one is PUBG's own choice. Plus one which can actually entertain variety. You could be caught off guard because I've seen, even though Haven is one of those maps again that generally is played slightly orthodox method, but I believe that a lot of people are able to bring in some mix and match into that map specifically because of it being a 3-sided one. So compared to Ascent, I think Haven will be able to give a lot of opportunity for both of the teams to go ahead and embrace variety, embrace some completely surprising moves, surprising agents altogether.
Yeah, I think a chamber could be good in that. All thanks
Oh,
to
I would
the
like
new
to see
buff. Yeah.
I would like to see a Phoenix and a Neon, or a Yoru and a Neon.
Why is Neon always on table for you?
Because Neon is a very balanced agent. Way too balanced.
Okay, cool. Got your point. But yeah, guys, let's dive into the action because we already get to see that KO is down. Oh, that load-in will not work. 120 FPS, NV2K. Brainstorm activated, wants to go all in, but gets flashed.
Enemy remaining.
Oh my god, this is how we do it. There you go. Sums up with a 4K. PUBG Esports with a 13-3 scoreline is already there with an advantage in the upper bracket semifinals. Oh my god, brilliant competition coming in at the same point, 120 FPS. There's so many gaps, man. They need to fill those so that they can win here.
Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of homework, a lot of going back to the board and sketching everything out for the side of 120 FPS to be able to squeeze any good rounds in Haven. But yeah, I mean, I kinda called it. I didn't say it out loud, but it was already in my head that there's literally one orb remaining for NV2K to go ahead and get his Blade Storm, and it's gonna be a flashy finish that he goes for. And it turned out to be so. 4 frags with that Blade Storm in hand. I'm happy with the way it ended, but I do want a lot more from 120 FPS because whenever you see that good of Valorant being played, you don't want it to stop.
Yeah. I think 120 FPS is going to come back even more stronger. Maybe they're going to outperform their opponents, but let's have a look at the crucial moments of this map number 1. Whatever happened in this map was pretty fun, to be honest. Be it the first round that completely was taken away, near flawless round coming in the favor of 120 FPS, and after seeing that I was like, maybe this one is going to be a long action. We are going to see a lot of fights, we are going to see maybe some OTs and all, but in the very next round what we got to see was basically an eye-opener for both 120 FPS and me as well.
Absolutely. The way DUPG was playing this particular map, it felt like, I think we can qualify this for a map where DUPG just went ahead and bullied 120 FPS, to be honest. But the next one definitely needs to be one where 120 FPS comes back with their sweet, sweet revenge to go ahead and push this all the way to the third map, and we get to see a decider sunset.
That should be perfect. A decider coming through. Sunset is the map. Pretty challenging one, has got a lot of changes. But this one, I think this one is the highlight reel maybe. The way Caramel missed those shots and the way those Blade Storm just went out of the hands of NZ.
Yeah.
To be honest, what a great show. Yeah, I know that the number of rounds are pretty low, but at the end, every single round was there with a thrill. Every single round we got to see like 120 FPS trying their level best to get themselves back into the action. But always, somehow, one way or the other, we got to see DUPG having the upper hand.
True that. As I mentioned in the beginning itself, Caramel himself is a win factor for any team that he becomes a part of.
Yeah.
He showed it. Obviously, there was enough coming in from the rest of the team as well, because Ascent is not one of the maps where you can just single-handedly seize a victory for your team. But the confidence that came in for the side of DUPG as we progressed into the second half, the way they were just being relentless and reckless with their fights, just going ahead and taking those fights without any worry in the world, it put them at a completely different level.
Every single round there was a chase. Even on the attack side, if you see 120 FPS was trying their level best to just enter, but not even a single round in their favor, because it was 9-3 at the end of the first half, and at the end of the action it's 13-3. 10 rounds of a difference. This one, look at this, the last action, 1 down, 2 down, and then the Omen. Beautiful play coming in from the sides of NV2K. He's good with Outlaw, he's good with the Vandals, and at the same point, when it comes to being the MVP of the team, NV2K is going to take that stage. Caramel was not that far away, and that's why yesterday as well we were talking about the same thing, that Sentinel is an agent that is a lot of times on lurk, is trying to explore some different angles. He's away from the team, but at the same point he needs to be the guy who is far better than his teammates. Maybe his teammates are not that good with aim, but a Sentinel needs to be absolute perfect with his aim, because he is going to take a lot of 1v1 or a lot of 1v2 duels in order to clear a particular side, and we can clearly see what Caramel did in this map as well.
Absolutely. The dude has more than 2 KD, so that itself shows how much he showed up for the team. But yeah, NV2K, definitely the flashiest jet we've seen so far into the tournament, but there's a lot more to come, and I am hoping to see same from NZ in the next map, because Haven is gonna be a completely different story, hopefully, and a completely different score line to go forward with, so that we can also see Sunset, as I'm going on saying over and over. With the kind of Valorant we're seeing right now, we just want it to keep continuing.
Oh yeah, definitely the Sunset will be eye candy. But for now, when it comes to the sides of 120 FPS, Sova, Zaps, it was wonderful, got a lot of info for the team, but I think Greeny is the guy who was on the back foot for a lot of time. NZ, we got to see him surviving till the end. A lot of rounds we got to see him into the action, but Greeny, the kind of value that you can get with a KO, it never really came through, and that's why selecting an agent is a different thing, and playing on it and dominating on it is a totally different era. So that's exactly where I think I have complaints with Greeny, but still, 11 assists, beautiful flashes from his corner, a lot of suppressions. But at the end, when it comes to showing that trigger discipline and supporting your team, and those vital moments where you need an entry, that's where Greeny and at the same point even Prime failed a bit in this particular map of Ascent. But it's just a learning curve, I believe, and as every single season goes on, we've seen teams evolving, and that's what DUPG is doing. But let's talk about the MVP of the map as well, guys. I think it is definitely going to be the Jet. Yes, it is NV2K with a pretty decent KDA, and at the same point ACS of 322. Headshot percent is a little bit lower because he was just exploring a lot of options in every single round.
Absolutely. And well, being able to be in a position where you can do that even in on a stage like a Showdown series is definitely a blessing, and having a team that enables you to go ahead and do that is completely a whole different story. But yeah, the way DUPG has played so far, I'm pretty happy with the overall match. And yes, NB2K definitely the pioneer for the team nonetheless, with 18 kills and 4 assists alongside that, and 322 ACS overall.
Brilliant. Now, all we need is a consistency from the sides of PUBG Esports. If you say that a decider is appealing, but at the same point for PUBG Esports, I don't think so. The decider is something that they're eyeing for right now, because they do have an advantage. They would like to completely maintain that 2-0 streak that they already have got in their favor, and then just push on to the next particular stage, that is the upper bracket finals. We'll take a short break, guys, and after that, we'll bring the action back in the map of Haven. Alright guys, as promised, after a quick short break, yes, we are back again at the Esports Presents Showdown series, Season 6 of Valorant, powered by Crucial by Micron, where GP partner is Zodiac Gaming and media partner is Gossip.gg. And the question running in my mind is it actually a 2-0? Is DUPG Esports is going to maintain that reign of terror against 120 FPS? This is something different that is going to cook, because I talked about a small break went a little bit longer, 5 minutes of a break. Maybe there is some planning, plotting, something is happening in the back end.
Might very well be, and should be, and even should be, because as we've seen, the prize pool is pretty humongous. You might want to go ahead and give your 100% every single time you get the chance. I mean, yes, there is a cushioning of a lower bracket option. If you lose here, you're not going home. But then again, who wants to be in that cushioning area so soon? Like, keep using that lifeline for as long as possible. Keep being in the upper brackets for as far as you can. That's exactly the goal that any of the teams has. Plus, also, if you go to the finals from upper brackets, I think you have some advantage of that. But yeah, I do want to see 120 FPS give an equal enough fight for this one.
Yeah, let's hope for the best. Map is Haven, as the map video told us, and now talking about the agents. Hybrid and his teammates, that means DUPG Esports. They are the attackers for now, and it's their own pick. So it's gonna be pretty fun to watch how all of that happens. Just for a moment, I got to see an ISO. But yeah, guys, I have heard somewhere and I have seen a lot of aspects of ISO lately. But with an ISO, if you are not getting at least 30 kills in a particular map, you're not doing the job. So that's a big commitment, obviously, getting 30 frags in a particular map, and that too when the competition is this on this level. To be honest, we are talking about season 6 already. These teams have come against each other a lot of times in the past seasons and delivered along the way. NV2K, maybe again a jet. Oh, a neon. Finally, maybe that wish is going to come true, Anna.
Yes, and I'm pretty excited to see how that unfolds. Just don't change the agent. Don't make me very hopeful and then just leave me in the dust. There's Yoru as well, not on the same team, but you do have a Yoru on the opposite side. I am seeing ISO and Yoru coming together on the side of 120 FPS. I do have high hopes from there. We've seen this before and we did not think this could turn out to be a good result. I'm talking about last season when me and Aggressive were on the desk.
Yeah.
We did not think this could lead to a victory, but it did. And it was a scary one. Like, a very one-sided scoreline. So I'm waiting to see how this is gonna unfold, and this could really result into something completely outside of the box that DUPG might struggle to adapt to, because we've seen that they are coordinated, they are on point with their aims, their mechanics, their skills, their strategies as well. But I don't know if they're that adaptable. I don't know if they're going to be able to change their strategy on the fly and adjust to whatever is coming from the side of an ISO Yoru combination.
I fear for that, honestly. ISO, Yoru, that too on a defense. I do know that there is a second half, obviously, in a particular map. But at the same point, if you are getting dominated just like the way you got dominated in the map of Ascent, if there is a scoreline of 9-3 again, then it's going to be a trouble for them, even in the second half while you're trying to be the attackers. It's just not going to be that easy to infiltrate and eventually get that value. But anyway, guys, let's jump back into the action. Let's see what kind of potential these individuals are going to deliver. But there's a facts for you, fact boxes here. In the Challengers League 2024 South Asia Split 3 group stage, NV2K maintained a rating of 1.25 and an ACS of 299.5. Underscoring his offensive capabilities. Underscoring. Interesting. Now he may once again go all berserk, and look at him.
I mean, he's just trying to go ahead and seize more and more. It wasn't for a fight. There was definitely an attempt from the side of Prime to go ahead and take him by surprise, but didn't work out. Now it's a 1v2. I would be scared, but it's Karabil, so I'm not. He has very little HP though. And the combination he's up
And an
against
ISO
is
with a shield.
the ISO Yoru.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the spike is also dropped at an angle where he needs to fully enter the side from a shot. And,
No utils either.
no utils, no HPs, 100% aim, 25% HP. It is going to be a challenge. It is definitely going to be a challenge for Karamel, but he is.
Oh, Homeboy is not expecting
where
this.
the play could be. Homeboy was looking forward to see if the spike gets picked off, and as soon as the spike was picked, he saw that spike is no more in his sight. He's peeked and eventually shut down the player. But it's basically rinse and repeat. It seems like that for now, because just like the previous map, DUPG lost their first round. This time, again, I would like to say a little bit aggressively, because you got taken away. Three individuals were taken away by ISO. I believe 2 to 3 individuals were taken away by ISO, and ISO was always getting benefit with that shield. So let's see if this second round is going to change, or maybe there is going to be a complete role reversal coming in from the sides of 120 FPS. They will be getting a lot of frags. Look at this. Zap's already investing heavy with the Vandal. Wow, Envy. Lovely.
No matter what weapon you give him, he's gonna be up for a fight. Dies very quickly, but not without taking his chunk of damage. It's a 3v3 now. Caramel has taken some damage, is waiting for the Yoru to peep, and there it is. Homeboy will be able to find this frag. This time around, it does seem like 120 FPS has a little more control than the last map. But then again, we never know how it's gonna overall turn around.
Last player standing.
No.
Why?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Just heard an audio cue of a reload, and he was like, I'm going to take that last individual, because he thought maybe it's a 1v1, but no, it was actually a 1v2. Zaps and that Yoru, they were pretty on point with the trigger discipline. Now once again, setting a fake maybe. No, it's a Bucky shot which was missed.
Enemy remaining.
And it connects,
Wow.
takes on the Yoru as well. And NZ is away on A side. He is disconnected. This is a brilliant round coming in from the sides of DCs. He missed that first shot, but after that he was pretty on point with his aim. And unfortunately, it is actually a deja vu moment for us. Because once again, a round which should have not been in the favor of DUPG is actually in their name.
You have 5 options. He had 5 options at that time, and out of that, he wasted the first 3. Was still able to come back into the game, put himself in a winning side, put his team on the winning side. DUPG just flourishing right now.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Am I seeing a judge in the hands of a neon? Yeah. Okay, sign me up for that.
Lovely. I mean, in the previous round as well, there was a Bucky in his hand. So he has already shown that what he can do with a shotgun in a close range. He's going to once again do that. This time with a judge. This time with one of the best shotguns that you can have. But at the same point, you need to be pretty precise, because then those 5 bullets can run out pretty quickly. MV2K, if he gets at least 1 or 2 picks, he's done his job. Because as a duelist, you need to find space, get some info, and get some frags as well along the way. That's what NV2K has been doing in the last 2 rounds. He has been pretty on point. Caramel at the same point has not popped off ears. So maybe in the next 2 rounds he's going to fight back, he's going to retaliate, get some good frags of his own. Waiting on NZ. His ping is flickering, that means he's back. Pretty soon we are going to see the action getting resumed again.
Well, we have quite a lot of rough patches right now, but they're all gonna lead to a beautiful, beautiful match. So, not gonna complain about any of it. The longer we wait, the more the anticipation, the better the game looks. There's a Hunter's
The
Fury that can come
anticipation-
into action very quickly, though. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Zaps is pretty close to his ultimate, and in the past 2 rounds, Zaps definitely was the guy who got a lot of frags for his team. So yeah, that Hunter's Fury, in order to deny the plant or even for the post-plant scenario, can be absolutely effective. But for that, you need to have smokes. Prime currently disconnected. I'm waiting on him. He's back. Let's hope
That he
that
is.
this 3rd round is going to be fun for the sides of 120 FPS, because they do have kind of a decent buy if they want to go with it, because NC is already not invested really, but eventually was able to save his Bulldog from the previous buy round, the bonus buy round. Zaps on the other corner with that Marshall can be effective, because he's already looking effective with the aim. So I'm looking forward to it,
True that.
how it all changes, and is there any value that these guys can find in this one? Because DUPG on the other corner, they have invested, but at the same point, if you see, they don't have a lot of economical advantage on the place of 120 FPS. Yes, Disease has got some decent creds in this favor. He can reinvest in the next round as well. I think DUPG Esports is looking forward to just completely take this one under their name.
Sounds like it. Very much sounds like it. Let's see. However the games unfold, it's gonna be entertaining nonetheless. That's definitely there. I just cannot wait for this timer to unfreeze. I I
Yeah.
I mean, I'm obviously excited to see good Valorant, but I'm even more excited to see how this Euro ISO combination is going to work out, how they're going to be utilizing it to their advantage, how they're going to come back into the game, how 120 FPS is going to push us towards the third map, because that's what we want to see, right? A challenge.
Hmm. Yeah. Because this is the only way 120 FPS can maintain their terror and probably push us to the decider. That is the only way. They need to bring out that combination of that Euro and ISO, find some good values. NZ, no doubt, he is flying off. Homeboy is also getting some good value. In the previous map, he was playing on a KJ, I believe, and he was pretty good at it as well. Prime on the other corner and Greeny. These two needs to pop off as well. The smokes, they need to be on point. Greeny on the other corner, the setup on C side could be absolutely effective from his sides as well. But I honestly love KJ in this map rather than a Cypher, because with those trips, you might find somebody who's trying to flank. Your backstab can work, but at the same point, those post plan scenarios, they are very dire for a Cypher. You cannot find a lot of value with a Cypher trip or spy cam or maybe even a cyber cage. You will have whatever the utilities are available with that Cypher. You cannot find a lot of value or damage, to be specific, or maybe keep your opponent away from the spike. But with a nanostorm, you know that you're going to hurt the opponent if he's trying to go for a defusal.
Careful here.
True that. Gonna be pretty essential to have all your utilities online to be able to put them to right use, specifically on a map that big that has three sites. You already are running short on men, having only 5 men teams, and being in a position where you have to monitor three different sites is difficult to begin with, and then being in a place where you do not have enough util that can help you out, because again, as you mentioned, it's kind of necessary to be able to go ahead and get more and more defensive rounds, specifically if you are 120 FPS, because you're already way far below, right, on the overall boards, not only in round numbers but also in map numbers. So I believe that's important. I would have loved seeing a little more area control agents from the side of 120 FPS.
Honestly, I'm also pretty surprised with the whole approach of the agent selling, because you're playing on the defense for the first half and you've decided to go with the double duelist, and your sentinel is a cipher which can give you the insights, which can give you the info, but cannot damage your opponent, cannot provoke them to change their directions or go all in. At the same point, when it comes to the smoke, obviously Omen is the go-to. Three different sides, all those three sides are almost capitalized by Omen. You can almost go for a smoke on every particular side. If you're there in garage, you can go for A, and vice versa. If you're sitting on A link, you can easily smoke off C as well. With Clove, obviously you don't get that kind of area. With Brim, again, similar situations, and all the other smokes that you have, all the other controllers that you have by far are not that effective when it comes to a 5-5 combination. There was a meta in brief for Harbor. We got to see Viper also being utilized a lot in different maps, but lately, obviously, Omen is the go-to.
Yep. But yeah, I do believe that there was a requirement. I mean, I'm completely on board with your ideology here, specifically being the team that's struggling to, get one more map on their sides. Because if you're 120 FPS, you definitely want one more map to be on your side to be able to even push it to the third map. And that too on a three-sided map, being in a place where you don't have enough agents that can actually redirect or force the attackers to have to hit on a different side. It just makes things difficult and kind of dubious from my perspective. But then again, we'll have to see how the team brings their game in.
Yeah, because we have seen certain games where teams might have not chosen the right agents in their favor, but at the end they played equally well. The synergy worked out for them. They were able to find values. They were able to fill in the gaps that were missing in from the opponent's perspective. But all of that is going to happen or not, we'll talk about that. For now, let's have some stats in front of us, and it is the top 5 agents and the top 3 maps so far that have been chosen in the season. And it is pretty good, to be honest, because in all these 3 maps, Sova is a go-to, no doubt in that. Sova can be absolutely effective in split. In Ascent, obviously, one of the first agents to be get logged in. And Haven also, you can find that Sova absolutely valuable, specifically to get those info.
True that. We did see a breach being played in Ascent as well yesterday. And I mean, breach is one of those initiators where you can use your own utilities and push right after it. So it does give him the
Right.
flexibility of being like a pseudo duelist while being an initiator, which is a very good combination of agents to be going with. Omen, as you mentioned, the most used controller in today's date and time. I am seeing people picking Astra as well now. After that buff, there is a little more inclination towards her, and I'm all for it. I would
The five
definitely like to
stars,
see
yeah.
more and more Astra. Yeah, I would like to see more and more Astra. But yeah, so far I don't think Omen is replaceable that quickly.
The problem with Astra is that the individual who is wielding that agent, he needs to be good with the strategies. I mean, you need to be quick with the decisions with Astra, and it's a pretty complex agent in itself. With Omen, you do get Paranoia, which is going to obviously blind your opponent while they are trying to push in. At the same point, those dark covers are absolutely effective. You get 3 of those. But at the same point, when it comes to 2 of those actually, and then the shortest step as well, in order to evacuate from those tight net corners if somebody has utilized Molly onto you, which is pretty ideal for the map of Ascent. We have seen a lot of approaches where in Ascent, fragment comes through or nanoswarm is activated. Omen can easily use that shortest step. Just in comparison with the controllers, to be honest, I think Omen is the one which can evade, attack, and also kind of confuse you as a opponent. So for that reason, yes, Omen is a go-to in every particular map that we have seen so far. Let's talk about the level of leaderboard
Yep.
as well, because there are some right goodies that are waiting for the top 3. So in that, Caramel, yeah, he will be in the top 3. There you go. 69 Gunner is also there. We have AK Demon also out there. But of course, when it comes to these top 3, changing this position is not that easy. Ceylon is there in the list. Dogzer, maybe he's going to rise to the table. But still, AK Demon is miles ahead, I guess.
True that. Very, very far ahead. And again, I mean, I am just surprised how nobody could replace Caramel because he was literally out for one whole season and he comes back in and he's still there and he's mounting his numbers now. You can already see like he was right behind NV2K in the last map as well. I mean, just falling short of a few assists. He was always already out there. So yeah, I'm scared for the top 3 right now. I mean, anyone who's having to face them is not gonna be in a very comfortable position.
Interesting. But guys, yeah, level up leaderboard is something that a lot of people are eyeing for. Dogzer, because of Batman is already out, but Gorange, Nico, every individual who is there in the competition or is going to be there in the future, they are definitely trying to climb up the ladder. But in terms of number of the maps being utilized, I think AK Demon is just up high. Even 69G at the same point has also secured a lot of maps and at the same point got a lot of frags in his favor. But look at AK Demon. The reason I said miles ahead because 791 frags already under his banner and 253 of us is just 654 deaths. That clearly showcases that
Yep.
how far this individual has gone, and reaching out to that marker is not gonna easy. It's not gonna be easy. It will take at least 2 seasons where AK Demon is not in the mix and you yourself are trying to climb the ladder. Maybe then there is a possibility that you're going to take the top spot.
True, and that too only if you're already on the leaderboard. If you're not on the leaderboard at all yet,
Precisely.
then even 2 seasons are nowhere gonna put you anywhere close. Like, I just believe that that's gonna be a very difficult climb for any of the players out there. But definitely a very welcome challenge. I mean, all these players out there want to just go ahead, seize as many heads as they can, just keep getting kills after kills. They're up for the challenge.
Yeah, that's again another beautiful thing of this showdown series, because you do get the level up leaderboard. You get to have your own individual competition with your opponents. Obviously, maybe as a team you might not function, but if you function with the team, there is a slightly better chance that you're going to have a better standing in the level up leaderboard, because if you stay for a longer run in a particular tournament, in a particular segment, in a particular season, you might have further more chances to get many more finishes to improve your equation. So for that, I do believe that individual playstyle matters, but at the same point it also matters that how you function with your team. And that has been the complaint from the match number 1 action that we got to witness, because players are falling, and the only reason why teams are falling right now is because the synergy is not working out, because there has been a lot of roster shuffles, no doubt in that. But at the same point, when it comes to teams like DUPG Esports, they have been sticking. They have some new additions as well, but they're still better with the aim. And there is the only thing that is, should I say, better with PUBG Esports is it is actually the trade fires. Every now and then, when we get to see a player falling down, there's always a trade fire that comes through, and they're not fighting in an isolated environment. Obviously, when it comes to the Sentinel, it's Caramel. They can leave him alone because that guy is capable enough to take his own trade. He, even before he goes down, he can just throw a nanoswarm and he's like, yeah, you can shoot me down, but my nanoswarm is going to hunt you down. That is the capability of Caramel. So that guy is not getting undermined anytime soon, I believe. There are certain individuals, obviously, in certain teams who can be better with time and who are definitely looking much more amazing. Like Zephy, if you talk about him, he was super good, a young prodigy from the team, and he's just popping off, getting a lot of frags in his team. But the roles are completely different. On a side where Zephy is trying to get the initial pick, he's a duelist, he's trying to infiltrate the side. Caramel is a guy who has to go for different angles, who has to explore different options for the team. So all of that role reversal is something which is definitely going to be eye candy. And Caramel, in his earlier days, we got to see him on a duelist role as well. But so far, it seems like that NV2K is utilizing that role of a duelist for his team way too well. He is also very effective.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I've been seeing Killjoys just level up to the place of a Jet when it comes to number of kills overall, and it's been happening so often these days because I keep seeing the Sentinels and the Duelists just working together, while one Duelist alongside the Initiator starts penetrating one side, starts making room for the team to enter in. You will always see the Sentinel just going towards the completely different side, trying to get more and more area under control, trying to get more and more, knowledge of where the opposite team is. And while trying to do that, just catching people off guard, having those 1v1 duels, and just capitalizing on those number of kills that a Sentinel can have. I mean, the way the whole team is functioning right now, for a lot of teams, it has become very clear that your best aim guy does not necessarily have to be a duelist. It can be your Sentinel as well.
Yeah.
So like the way, so I believe being a Sentinel gives you even more freedom to go ahead and take your fights, because specifically in defense, when you're a Sentinel, your utilities don't have to wait really long. You can always pre-place your utilities, pre-place your gadgets, and just have everything in place, know when to fire them. But other than that, focus merely on the fight, completely laser focused on the fight, while a duelist comes equipped with the kind of utilities that need to be utilized while the fight is going on, while you're trying to be in a fight and run away from it. So I think that laser focus that a Sentinel is able to apply to a fight, it just puts him in a place where you can literally have your best aimed guy play as a Sentinel and your second best play as a duelist, or the other way around. It's both ways good enough.
I mean, lately, a lot of Sentinels that we have seen so far in the Season 6, they do definitely have a very good aim in their favor, because it is important, because a lot of times you will get to see 4 individuals along with the duelists and all the initiators that you have, or maybe the controller as well. They're trying to break in onto B side, and the Sentinel is out there fighting on A just to either sell a fake or maybe get some good entry so that the other guys can rotate from the mid. We've seen that happening again with Caramel, because he was trying to always get an entry on A, and the guys from the other corner, from B side, they completely rotate back from the top mid to the bottom mid, and then eventually switch their gears towards the tree, and then eventually enter the side. So all of that has happened, and it's pretty justified why a Sentinel needs to have a good aim in his favor. At the same point, talking about duelists, yes, I totally agree with the points that a duelist needs to utilize his abilities right there in the mix of that fight, to be mobile, to be very quick with his movement, or you can be ISO, where those shields can be equally good for you, where you can once again tank up with the first shot, beat the operator or sheriff or any particular weapon. So that is pretty fun to watch as well. So bringing ISO in this match of Haven, I do think that it can find a very good value, which actually happened in the map of in the first round of pistol round. But after that, obviously, we can see that there is a incline towards those Buckies and eventually the judges coming in from Neon, that is NV2K. And I think NV2K can be the game changer in this one, not Caramel, until the first half gets over. Maybe in the second half, we'll get to see Caramel popping off. Those gadgets can be super beneficial, and gadgets actually work as a very good distraction. We've seen a lot of rounds where a player is trying to break on C-long, trying to break the turret. All of a sudden, what happens? KJ peeks in or somebody else peeks in, and they just shuts the opponent away. All of that has happened. So for that reason, I do believe that KJ is one of those amazing Sentinel that can easily find you a lot of value. And at the same point, Sentinel needs to have a good trigger discipline. We have seen that happen. But guys, pretty soon those technical difficulties are going to get over, and we are going to be back in the action. I know we have talked a lot about the speculations combinations, different things that might happen or not. But at the end, it is really dependent on those 10 individuals who are there in the game.
Absolutely, absolutely. However, I just now, as we were talking about KJ and Cypher, sorry, KJ and our duelist NV2K, that is Jet here.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
do want to see like a lot more unfolding from this combination. I mean, the way KJ is able to go ahead and keep an area in control. Obviously, in the attacking side, we are going to be seeing the team just sticking together with each other while Caramel just lurks around. Towards the defensive side, I want to see how this is going to open up, because I believe that side B is going to be one that can be put in KJ control. It can also be side C. You can
Okay.
alter between the two. But I believe that if you put
Mhm.
side B in KJ control and then let your Neon out, let her lose on side C, there's just way too much area control you can gain. Specifically when your KJ and Neon are
Right.
both so blessed mechanically.
Of course. I mean, they're so balanced, right? Especially Neon. When it comes to
Very
the overdrive
balanced.
and the relay balls, you get to have a lot of value. So all of that equation is obviously going to be beneficial, and I think maybe that is the reason why DUPG Esports has gone for Neon in this particular matchup. They could have gone for the Jet, which was really working beneficially for them, but they decided like, yes, let's step it up a notch. Make sure that your opponent feel what we are going to showcase onto them. And I do think that choosing a double duelist in a defensive half, specifically for the first half, obviously, it is a big decision that might go against them. So I'm looking forward to it. That 120 FPS. I would be happy if they prove me wrong. I would be more than happy, because that challenge is obviously going to in turn bring
Absolutely.
that joy of feeling that competition. But at the same point, looking at just the agents and the mechanical power that WG Esports has got, they are definitely looking a little bit more composed. Oh,
I
Envy.
agree. That was a very, very quick pick. Envy being taken out that quickly is definitely going to result in the team not being in their best. The second one taken out is Karamel nonetheless. However, the team will retaliate
Why?
with just as much force. They have gotten themselves back out of the rubble. WG Esports, even
All
after
thanks to their
losing
opponent
two
only.
very early men. Yeah. They're just falling like flies in front of them.
It's not just about falling. I mean, why would you even push? There was a dark cover already
Exactly.
appointed. You had taken down
Mhm.
two individuals. Why would you even try to push? Look at this. Now they are actually on a very
One enemy remaining.
bad spot. Acer finds Homeboy, and there you go. The last man is also out, and they were able to save their three weapons as well. I don't know,
Exactly.
man.
In a
It's just not
round.
about the agents. I think it's also about the decisions.
It is. And I think one of the major key things about Dubji right now is that they are soaring high on confidence. They don't have to question their decisions anymore. They can literally play this whole map on basis of let's see what happens. Because they have that cushioning. The same cannot be said for 120 FPS. They have to be calculative. They might
Right.
sit there questioning whatever they want to do, and like that single moment of doubt can result in them not being able to execute properly. So I don't think that it's looking very good for 120 FPS, but it's just the beginning. You never know.
A-Star, brilliant. NV2K on the other corner where the judge finds one. But as soon as he moves out of the dark cover,
Over there.
NZ was waiting for him patiently. But his Fury? No way. Hybrid, that decision of going with the Shadow Step on
Look
top of
at
the box was not
Caramel.
that good. And Zaps,
Take flight.
you're going to get hunted. Caramel. Oh, he has an idea. He's still trying
enemy
to
Oh
check, but look at this.
goodness.
You could have knifed, bro. You could have knifed. You could have started a banter.
Last
But
player
anyway,
standing.
Nano Swarm. NZ finds one. Gets damaged a bit. Kill contract. It's a fair 1v1 now. Ooh,
The
lovely.
fourth for NG on
Contract
this one.
complete.
I think this was
Good.
just NG versus Dubji.
True.
Clutch.
I had a job to do, so I did it.
Absolutely, you did.
That honestly was
Absolutely, you
really
did.
like a
Yeah.
cat and mouse chase, as the emoji told. But yeah, he had a job. He fulfilled it. 4K. And at the end, brilliant, brilliant comeback into the mix. It's a 2-2 for now. Small decisions, guys. Shorted step. And at the same point, the usage of ultimate. It was a heavily invested round for even 120 FPS, to be honest. But at the end,
True
they were
that.
able to win. That's the best part. That is the most important part that they need to have under their favor, because while you are the defenders, you can actually play with stingers. You can find some values with it if you're playing on angles, if you're waiting for the trigger discipline. Homeboy once again did that. Caramel is out now due to that disadvantage. Let's see what happens. Overdrive, a big investment, but if there are trips available, once again they'll feel the backlash. Hunter's Fury, the opponent's Hunter's Fury is out there. Oh, there you go. Sad. This is gonna be a sad one. 120
Yeah.
FPS, homeboy. He finds NV2K. The ultimate is in vain.
Oh, Homeboy is ready. Takes damage but still gets the frag. Greeny will be able to support him as well. This is definitely looking good for the side of 120 FPS. I want to see how many times they're going to be able to replicate this though, because the round right before this was definitely a one-off. You cannot expect the same individual brilliance to keep coming every now and then. This one again was
Right.
one of those rounds where you had a heavy, dominance from one single player. Homeboy got 3 of those frags out of all. So I'm just waiting to see one of those rounds which I can look at and be like, okay, here I have seen the teamwork, the strategies, and everything unfold in a manner which can be replicated over and over to the point of putting WG on a losing end. So far, I'm not seeing that though.
Go, go, go.
Disease. He is going to give an opportunity to his teammates to bring that Vandal back. They are already on a very difficult economical disadvantage at this point, but they still were able to get some good value. Now look at Caramel trying to infiltrate Garage and get some good info over there. On B, we do have the Cypher himself holding the B side at the same point. The Garage and C are pretty much capitalized with those tripwires. Dark covers comes through from the Omen, but there's a push that is happening on the A side as well. Maybe they're going to overextend. Let's wait and watch. Dark covers appointed. There is the Decon Bolt as well. That means they are pushing. That means they do mean business. At this point, the tripwire was also breaking away.
Spike
And
planted.
Aftershock put the players away, but it's just not happening. Greeny, he's still there, pretty intact, has got a good weapon to work with. Prime, look at him, still holding the B mains. So the action is happening on C. Just rotate quickly, otherwise your team might lose
Oh,
this
they're all
flashpoint.
blinded.
All DUPG needs is just time. Oh my god.
That Bucky was sustaining for longer than expected. However, the Odin is going to be able to shut that down, but not enough players in the clenches of that. With 4 players still surviving, WG will be able to continue forward. I don't know what to say anymore. Just take it away, Raider. Just take it away.
What can we say right now? I mean, such a good round. Could have been in the favor of 120 FPS, but the way they lost it, not a very good sign for them. But they do have 3 ultimates right now. They do have the Dimensional Drift, a very expensive recon, and another very expensive recon because it's a neural theft. So would love to see how they're going to utilize it. At the same point,
Actually,
Roman
all
Thunder
3
just
are expensive
really-
recons.
I mean, with maybe you,
All
you
3
are
are
going to bring
expensive recons.
Shorty, LD in. Yeah, I can agree on that point. Yeah, totally. Zaps.
Yeah.
He's just opening up the areas. Maybe he has got a big investment coming through. Aftershock, nothing valuable over there. Now once again, the Sentinel, KJ, trying to overextend. Maybe they're going to
The
find some
good
value.
duel.
Yoru utilizes the grid crash and he's like, bye, I'm back.
Well, the mountain of trouble just does not cease to take over 120 FPS.
It's Marshall. A Marshall
Is it gonna be able?
against 150 HP and Vandals. I do think so that it's going to be not easy for him to.
Yeah. Look at that. Wait for the Rolling Thunder, but then again, not being able to utilize that
30 seconds
shotgun at the right time. But well, there was definitely a good retaliation from the side of Caramel. The way WG Esports is backing each of their players up. Now look at this crossfire setup between Caramel and our very dear Sova. Gonna be harmful. Both of these players just gonna wait till they show up. Okay, Greeny gets his frag. Has a judge in his hands now.
Enemy remaining.
Homeboy definitely not in a very good situation. A 1v2 that he has to fight with a Guardian, which he has been doing really good with. But the time is ticking against him.
Only two to pull
Oh,
off.
they're.
Has got a Guardian.
Mhm.
I think he's just gonna go ahead and pick a Vandal and then just go out of it so that
Yeah.
he still has some good weapon to work with. Yeah, he did that. Has got a Guy Vengeance Vandal to work with. But DUPG Esports, 4 rounds already under their banner, and they are looking good. See, every single triple set map is definitely one of those maps where the attackers feel a little bit more confident because of the sheer factor that there are 3 sides to cover and defenders are just 5. So 2 on each A and C side and 1 maybe on B. But in those moments, you need to have a good sentinel so that you can block off the carriage entry as well. And out here, I think, yes, the Cypher is doing a great job because every now and then if you see Caramel is not at all getting a lot of entry from garage and all of those angles. So that's a big double play coming in from their corner. But trusting Zaps finds a star. 2 different targets to hit. But that judge is not going to be effective in that range.
Enemy remaining.
A flawless maybe? Caramel? One last individual? Oh yeah, it is a flawless.
It is. But then again, it keeps happening that 120 FPS gets rounds on individual basis. Yet again, we saw Zaps go ahead for a 3K. More than half the team demolished by one man itself. So I don't know how long that can carry on. I am happy for them being in a place where they have equalized score lines at least, but I want to see more. And I want to see some fantastical team play from them.
Agreed. There has to be a good game coming in from their corner. 4 rounds, that is good. Homeboy giving up all the info that is required, as you rightly called it out. A very expensive respawn, but where is Caramel? They need to know that. Gate crash, back to C, Link. Oh, the play gets spotted, but this is the moment where I absolutely applaud the fact that you have a KJ. Oh, got distracted. Caramel takes one down. Prime has been taken away, so you don't have any smokes for a post plant in order to go for a retake. But for now, there is no plant as well. So a neural theft, topping it on Hunter's Fury. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that was not the best use of a Hunter's Fury. I think it was a premature Hunter's Fury. It did push the players to a different site, but then again, they have enough time to be able to rotate to a different site in this current scenario. So nothing that you would really take away from them at this moment, considering that the number of players on both the teams is literally equalized right now and not so short either. So I don't know. I wouldn't really favor that Hunter's Fury. Now this one is very well timed. Look at
It
that.
is. Homeboy, NV2K gets taken away. Hybrid finds Homeboy as well. NZ finds one more. He gets 2. There's the last one standing. The breach. But the Vandal is trying to shut his opponent away. Will not be that easy. Zaps. That is good. 120 FPS definitely has something different to offer in this particular matchup. And the thing that I was criticizing every now and then, I still will, because double duelists so far, those 2 duelists have not been that effective. Obviously, when it comes to ISO on A shots, that initial shield that you get, it can tank out that headshot that might be coming in from the opponents. But after that, if you see, every now and then we get to see either Greeny or maybe the smoke that is there, or maybe even the Sova. They are fighting, they are getting some good frags. Zaps always on par with his aim. But still 5-4. Not the ideal score for the attackers, but they would be looking forward to get at least 5 rounds in their name.
Absolutely, and I mean, getting just one more round can put DUPG on a very, beneficial side of it. But then again, I did see a lot of lackluster from the side of DUPG in the last round. I did not love the way they were in such a chaos even after their own Hunter's Fury got invested. They could have easily won that round. And look at this. It seems like they are scoring a little bit too high on that confidence than they should.
Yeah. Tint had a goodbye. Utilized that Singer to peek from the A shot. Never really worked. Beautiful. Greeny finds disease. Hybrid. Okay, finally, obviously, we can do only a limited amount of stuff when you are getting surrounded from 5 different corners. Literally, there were
True
5
that.
different corners out here. Haven, Link, and even the site at the same point under Haven. Short. So many angles were there that Hybrid needed to cover, but he still got 2 frags. That's okay. And now 6-4. High time to wake up. They need to get at least a scoreline of 6-6 so that they can have a better start on the second half.
Their omen
Completely
will
agree.
fall. Over there.
A couple more rounds is all that's left in the first half. Even if there is one single round coming in for the side of DUPG, they will have an easier half on the second one. But then again, 120 FPS definitely ready for the challenge. There are frags coming in, but then there is trade instantly after. I'm not seeing the trade game coming in from DUPG as good anymore as it was on the first map. I mean, as we were expecting, the pause would definitely, put the momentum to a break, and it did. It very well did. A 3v3. There's still
Rumble.
some fight in this one. Taken down,
He was
though.
about to take the player down, but from the other corner, Disease now is there
Disease
with
for
the 3
three.
frag potential. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last man standing. The Yoru. It's a plan that is going to happen. Yoru is out there, no weapons in hand. He's trying to push in, has got an op, but if he sees that barrel, he might just go for a wall bangable shot. He did try to do that. Never really worked. A decoy. I don't think so. This one is going under their name.
Last
Oh,
player
what?
standing.
Hello?
Oh,
Not a very good
he
way to
swapped
change your
his
weapon.
weapons. Yeah. Still worked out, though. Oh!
Why?
That was definitely one of the fights that
Clutch.
Homeboy is gonna be very happy about. You can see it on his face. I don't understand. There
round
could
before
literally
the
have
switch.
been
Disease was just
not
standing
even
and watching
just-
everything.
exactly, not only Disease, even A Star. I mean, both of them did not need to take that fight. They did not need to initiate it. They knew that Homeboy was gonna have to push.
Yeah.
They could have just waited it out. All they needed was to buy enough time to put it in a place where they could not just go ahead and defuse it anymore. They could have played with the spike. It just, I don't get it. A lot of times, these decisions, I don't get it. But then again, as I mentioned, on this particular map, it seems like DUPG is playing more in the zone of let's see what happens instead of creating a game plan. So, forgivable, but definitely not
Wow,
acceptable.
homeboy. That
Just
was wild.
shot it that. Yeah. Shutting down an overdrive like that.
No, now this is not acceptable. This is not a round that you should lose. An ultimate going like that is just not good. Oh, Enzi on the other corner once again finds a value.
Last player standing.
20 FPS down to the last man, but this time the Euro will not survive. All thanks to Caramel. Getting that headshot.
Switching sides.
7-5 it is. DUPG Esports. The way they wanted to perform, it is not at all near to what they did. But look at this play. Super amazing. And Yoru was still there with like 40 to 50% of his HP.
Yep. A pretty remarkable performance there from the side of Homeboy. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
nonetheless, the scoreline so far does not look as bad for the side of DUPG Esports. However, if 120 FPS is able to go ahead and get the first 2 rounds of this one, they can hope for a better future. They can hope for the third map. They can hope for a chance back into the tournament in staying on the upper bracket. But on defense, I do think that DUPG's overall agent select is much, much more efficient.
Yeah, DUPG has got central and initiator to work with, double initiator to be honest. All of that is obviously going to be beneficial, so let's just hope that they're going to find some good value out of it. Shrouded step, Omen is already deep inside, trying to go for a plant. They have
planted.
taken the total control of the site. Meanwhile, they need to wait.
Wow.
Homeboy finds one beautiful pick. Caramel goes down. With a stun. Zaps finds one. Asa retaliates by a wall bangable headshot. But no, it's just not that easy. Look at Homeboy getting a 4K. Brilliant play coming in from the sides of 120 FPS. Now, all they need to do is just maintain this reign of terror, and now they have won the pistol round. So that bonus buy can be beneficial. I want to see if DUPG is going to go all in. The difference is not that much. They can survive with a scoreline of 9-5, but if they want to, who are the who are the ones who are going to go for the heavy investment? Is it Caramel? Is it Envy? Or maybe A Star? That's what we want to know. But yeah, I have not yet seen A Star going the way he has done in the past, the kind of aggression that he wields. Always a Sova guy, that is something which is pretty evident, but not the way that we have seen in the past, because in season 6 his start is not that ideal. A Star in a lot of rounds have made small mistakes through which teams are now standing in a very bad spot. Honestly, 3 rounds of buffer is definitely a significant difference.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, I mean, we have seen a 120 FPS take the first round of pistol multiple times already, and WG has been able to come back from it. But then again, the weaponry advantage, regardless, is gonna be with 120 FPS, and if they're able to capitalize on that, WG might just not have enough room to go ahead and bring the game back home. So this is definitely starting to look difficult for them. But let's see. This time around, they do have a lot of aggression on side C. They want to be very proactive. Look at Caramel just walking right up towards the attackers. And also from side A, there's way too much area being conquered by A Star.
Oh wow.
Those fights
Hybrid.
worked out.
NZ down, Homeboy down, Zaps down,
Okay.
Prime super low,
One enemy remaining.
Prime down too.
Down.
There you go. Yeah. Greeny, the Senti.
Greeny
his
is gonna
position
have a
also
red
removed.
flag
That
now.
was a good one. Envy.
There you
Envy. Brilliant. 8-6. One way to come back. And this is absolutely amazing. It was a near thrifty. Yes, there were some buckies that were invested, but honestly, with those sheriffs, what a dent onto the whole aggression from Team 120 FPS.
That's the WG I wanted to see. Feels like they were on a snooze for the first half. Oh my, the way
They were
this
like,
team
yeah,
performs.
keep on
though.
having fun.
See, that's the difference, right, Raider? Like, we've seen so many rounds being won from the side of 120 FPS, and they have been marvelous rounds nonetheless. But none that put you in a place where you're like, I have no idea what to say anymore. This is just unexpectedly marvelous.
Cromwell. That was unexpected. Went in for a bulldog and he got a frag. Envy on the other corner shuts down NZ as well. Now that you don't have smokes and you don't have the duelist as well, what next? Last man standing this time is going to be the Sova with the Marshall, wants to be on par. Zap, all it requires to put him down is going to be one last single shot. Maybe a melee? No, okay, not yet.
These rounds are smaller than the buy phases. The sheer aggression on WG. Do they remember they're on the defensive side? Are they aware? Do we need to like get production to send like an all chat? What's going on?
Go, go, go.
Let them do whatever they're doing, because honestly we are enjoying.
It's working
lot
out.
of competition from the sides of WG. Yeah, beautiful play coming in from their sides, and it's just making sure that every single play that they're bringing is beneficial for them. Maybe this one will change something. No, Envy still finds a value. I thought maybe he's overextended because there were 3 to 4 members who were trying to swing at the same angle, but he still finds one and instantaneously backs out. And A-Star, he's going to get the cover from his teammate. If someone overextends, they'll pay the price.
Get locked.
Ah, there you go. Beautiful. Homeboy just his opponent way. Wait for it. There you go. NZ goes down as well. Last two. One is in ult, and that is Homeboy. Maybe going to go for some flashes, then will swing. Yes, he
Last
did.
player standing.
There's no one that he can shut down, and the
Down
last member is now Homeboy.
Was the last member. Now we'll have all 5 of them in the next round. Already an equalizer.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't completely say that we didn't expect this. We did. This is just the way WG plays. But it just seems like they're starting to toy now.
8-8 already. And
I'll find them.
Go, go, go.
120 FPS seems to have lost their track because whenever they're trying to enter, they're just getting shut down. And this one is also going to be a complete similar scoreline type of equation because you have an operator that is speaking onto you. Easy! For Envy, it is supremely easy. That was a good shot coming in from his corner. Let's see if it's going to get repeated. No, not this time.
NG knows not to peek that.
Yeah, but with Owl Drone, they're still trying to confuse because all you need is one good shot and it could be a wall bangable one. And that's exactly what Zap's got. Brilliant, brilliant. In
Absolutely.
these moments, I get to
Still though the
have this clarity that DUPG is not that big of a team because you can see them falling.
Last player standing.
True that, but look at the retaliation. Caramel single-handedly just shutting the numbers down for the team. It's a 1v2 now. And Homeboy has 2 more people to take care of, and both of them fully healthy, while he survives on 21 HP only. He doesn't even
Maybe
have the
A-star.
spike. Yeah, A-star is gonna be yet another pain in his ways.
Bot coming back.
Yeah. 9-8. Look at these shots. Beautiful. But Envy, the way he got retaliated is something which is pretty amazing. That was a very good game sense that was utilized, to be honest, because he utilized the Owl Drone to get the info. And that bolt that you get with the Owl Drone is obviously going to give up your info, and that's exactly where those wall bangable shots came through. Because if you see for a brief moment, Envy also tried to do the same. Envy also went for a wall bangable op shot. Obviously with op, you need to go for that slow pace action. You need to once again situate aim and then find some value. But from the Ascent
Envy
perspective,
2K.
an overdrive activated
Bot down.
and he's just walking in. Alarm bot has been triggered.
Down. Bomb grenade out.
Hesa pushing from A shot. Here comes a Yoru, but it's a decoy.
You and me.
Shot is up. No way. No way you to make that mistake.
That
One enemy remaining.
oh goodness. That overdrive got called into the kill contract, and then Envy just switched to his Vandal, got the kill, closed it off.
Go, go, go.
Look at Caramel. This is, I think, the 3rd round we're seeing him with 3 frags.
Out of here.
Man is already toe-to-toe, or I think already ahead of NZ in competition, and now he's challenging the top fragger from the opposite team already. Double digits yet again on board for the side of DUPG Esports. I was expecting them to
NZ
catch
is,
up.
Is his opponent, I guess.
Yes, he is. NZ is Caramel's opponent, but like from the opposite side, NZ was on the 2nd number with 15 frags, and so was Caramel in the last round. And now he already has 3 more.
Yeah.
He's competing with the man with the 20 frags.
Agreed.
This is just
And he might just overshadow him till the end of this map.
very much might. I mean, I knew DUPG will equalize the scoreline very quickly. I did not know they're gonna surmount it that easily. A good Marshall shot there.
NZ, that was a good one. Marshall headshot will give you 150 damage, and the player has been taken away. A shock dart just to block off anyone trying to peek from that dark cover. Look at this A-star. He needs to be precautious. He's waiting patiently. Players will march in as soon as the dark covers goes off. This one, he needs to get at least 2 out of it. Finds 2.
Wow.
Maybe get 3. No, Prime is going to get that trade. Saps on the other corner shuts down Disease as well. It is still a 2v2. Caramel was waiting patiently for that gate crash to happen. And now it is all trickling down to Zaps. 25 HP, a lot of guts, Hunter's Fury, and a spike to plant.
Spike planted. Scanning ahead.
I don't think he's gonna use that Hunter's Fury right now. Even if he wanted to, we'll never know.
Yeah.
My ultimate is ready. The
11-8. A scoreline which was not something that 120 FPS thought of because they were there with the scoreline of 8-5. And
Exactly.
when the competition ended, when the first half ended to be precise, we got to see a scoreline of 7-5. That too in the favor of 120 FPS. From there, they have just got one single round in the second half while they are attacking, and the other team, they have got nearly 6 rounds in their favor. To be precise, 6 rounds in their favor. They are looking forward to get their 7th one as well, as they do have a decent buy. Decent is going to be an understatement because look at Hybrid, 8600 creds, man. He has got every single crit that he needs right now, and more than that, I believe.
Actually, not gonna argue on that one. But yeah, I mean, the way this game is unfolding, DUPG, they had the same exact story in the last map as well. Towards the second half, they just did not give up any rounds. This time around, again, it's the same story, just the first round of the second half. Since then, they've been on a roll. However, this time around, three crucial ultimates are going to be available for the side of 120 FPS. They will have abundant information and a Hunter's Fury to capitalize on that. So let's see if they're going to be able to use it. I wouldn't say that 120 FPS should use their Hunter's Fury to create space anymore. They need to get some kills. They require those numbers.
But Homeboy,
Look at that.
he gives the first pick.
Great.
DUPG, they're getting undermined, but with this Hunter's Fury, obviously the players were pushed back. But out here, Envy needs to get at least 2 with that op. Is he going to spot someone? He might just get ISO down. Yeah, he did get that. But with that neural theft now activated, they do have the info. And Homeboy out here is going to be an individual who can find that value. Homeboy goes down. Cypher was
my
fighting back.
goodness,
Greeny
Envy.
is also being picked down. From a situation where DUPG was looking very naive, now they do have the total advantage in their favor. Hunter's Fury! Where is that Hunter's Fury going?
I have no idea. But I love the team play on DUPG Esports. NV2K had his speed, and he just used his speed to make sure that he was constantly confusing Greeny. Went right in the face of Greeny, kept going around the gong constantly, and just gave clear shots to his teammates to go ahead and take that fight and win it nonetheless. He knew everybody's positions were revealed. He just made sure that even then the team had enough time to get their kills, get their frags, and get their round.
Well, wait. One more round is what DUPG needs. One more mistake is what DUPG needs from the sides of 120 FPS. But on the hindsight, 120 FPS, the only option that they've got right now is bringing in the OT and then fighting back in Sunset by winning that OT. I know that's a big challenge, but they've got the info of where the players are. And the 2K is also having fun. It's like, yeah, you might have the info, but I'm just going to swing around, just wait for my teammate to give me cover, and that's exactly what A-Star did, and that's why I can clearly see from A shots, all the players are currently backing out. Omen decides to use the ult to go back to C. Will he find something? Maybe, maybe not. But obviously that expensive recon needs to be efficient, it needs to be effective, but there you go. Caramel on the other corner puts down Zaps. Spike is down. That too on the B window. I don't think so. This one is looking good for the sides of 120 FPS.
Absolutely
Love
not.
it.
The two duelists still surviving. This is the attacking side. Let's see if they're going to be able to change things around. I don't think so, but let's keep the hope up for a few more seconds. I believe NZ is again not
Enemy remaining.
here.
30 seconds left.
I don't think NZ is here. It's done.
Unfortunately, he can be here, but tomorrow, I guess, in the lower bracket.
Yes, in the lower brackets. Yes.
Run for the upper bracket is pretty much over. We talked
We're just
about
waiting
this
for the
combination
timer
of
to
having
tick
the
out.
double duelist. Or maybe the frag. Come. Okay, yeah, the frag is going to
Caramel
be
get his 4.
It is a 4K for Caramel. Yeah, it is a 4 kill
Yep.
for Caramel. So brilliant start of this competition in the upper bracket. The very first match, it is a 2-0, guys, and we have seen DUPG Esports taking a flawless win so far in the circuit, and they are right now in the upper bracket finals.
That they are. And Raider, just hold my tea for a
Yeah.
minute. I'm just gonna quickly change my status everywhere from caster to astrologer because of what I said in the beginning of the match. I did not even know which teams we are fighting against. I did not know how well 120 FPS plays, and I just felt like PUBG gets a 2-0. That's how it went.
I mean, that's why we have a notion that in every single season, whenever we have seen DUPG Esports, they have brought in something different, and that's why I think your prediction
Yes.
was also justified, that you knew that DUPG Esports is there, we might get to see a 2-0. Anyway, guys, let's have a
Exactly.
look at the crucial moments as well. Let's see what are those moments which kind of changed the game, because there are many, because the competition was a close one. 13-8 is a scoreline which is one of those scorelines where we can clearly see that maybe the first half was full of struggles. We can just assume with that scoreline. But yeah, we know their reality that for DUPG, it was definitely a tough one for at least the first half because they lost 7 rounds.
Yes. That too in a very, very, distant manner. But yeah, let's take a look at all the moments that built up this particular game for us. This was quite an interesting one for a really long time. You and I both did not know if we're going to see sunset or not, but the sun did set for the side of 120 FPS by the end of this one.
Yeah. First round, then eventually the second round, even better. We got to see some Bucky action to clutch it all. And after that, DUPG once again took the toll onto their opponents. And from there, they started to bring a score of somewhere around 4-3 or 4-2 maybe. Look at this. Shortest step, not being that effective. And after that, Hunter's Fury to completely deny the plant. Caramel fought and took one down. But then this 1v1 that happened between NZ and A-Star, that completely changed the trajectory. Then a 2-2 scoreline after that. Every now and then, whenever DUPG was trying to infiltrate the sides, they were just getting challenged from different corners. This time, that was the best part, that there were different angles being explored from the sides of 120 FPS in the defensive half of their own. But at the same point, when DUPG started to do that in their defensive half, 120 FPS had no answer regarding that.
Exactly. 120 FPS just got caught in their own tracks. Could not really follow through with the lead that they had already, established for themselves. I mean, I had started wondering if DUPG was even up for the challenge right now. And as I mentioned, even during the match, towards the first half, it definitely felt like DUPG was just wanting to do whatever the hell they wanted without really worrying about the consequences. And even in the second half, even though the results do reflect that they did a very good job, it felt like, they definitely put in a lot of work. None of it is easy. But they made it look so easy. They made it look so smooth. They made it look so quick. The way those rounds were happening, it was just unimaginable. A very well polished, very well functioning machine is how they function.
And now that they are in the they are in the finals right now, one step away from the grand finals, that BO5 G on 23rd of November. I do think so. Whichever team it is going to cross their path, it could be X-True, it could be Asterisk in the near future because they're in the upper bracket semi-finals match number 2. It will be fun to watch. But for now, let's talk about the MVP. Caramel, 25 frags, that too 3 assists and just 11 deaths. Beautiful pain. And in those 25 frags, he has got 5 first kills. That is something that you usually don't see when you are a Sentinel.
Exactly. That's too many first kills for a Sentinel. But yeah, 319 ACS, very well justified. I am just loving this because, okay, towards the first half, we did not see Killjoy pop up enough. We did not see Caramel have enough kills in the first half. And the second half was not that long a story. It was, 9 rounds in total? And the man just creates magic out of nowhere in those 9 rounds. I think I saw at least 4 rounds where he had 3 or more kills in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hybrid 13.
Yeah, he is having his own fun, right? Brilliant. The smokes were absolutely on point, no doubt in that from Hybrid's corner.
Yep.
Disease, again, on that initiative was absolutely effective. But I think Disease could be one of the weakest link of this team due to the fact that he's the newest addition. Maybe that is something which can impact this team in the near future. So if any particular team, it could be X-True or Asterix, if they're eyeing to see if some spots are there or some mistakes are there that can be cashed in from their sides, I think this is the one. But now let's talk about more and more stats, guys. The MVP, I believe, of this map is going to come through, and it could be Caramel for sure because of the way he performed. Yeah, it is Caramel. 319 ACS, 5 first kills. Headshot percent this time has improved a lot, 23%. Lovely.
Yep. Absolutely. With that ACS, with that ADR, I think he's also going to climb up a little bit on that overall leaderboard very soon. I mean, DUPG is here to stay. Definitely they have one more match to go, and that one more match means at least 2 more maps to go. I'm having hopes of much better numbers on the overall leaderboard from him as well. But yeah, I am confused on who the series MVP is going to be now because he's done a great job. So did and okay, There it is. I didn't have to wonder for long.
Yeah, because of the
43.
fact that in Ascent, if I'm not wrong, it was NV2K. He had some decent frags in his
Yes.
favor, but just 1 or 2 frags behind was Caramel. In this one,
Oh,
Caramel
they
was
had
way too on par.
equal frags. They
Oh,
had
equal
equal
numbers.
frags. They just had a difference in number of assists. Caramel had no assists,
Okay.
while NV2K had 4. And when it comes to
Hmm.
deaths, Caramel was actually doing better. He only had 8 deaths in total in that map, while NV2K had 11. So I think, yeah, overall, Caramel becomes
Yeah.
the man MVP of the series.
So he was like, yeah, this time we are not even going to consider the assists. I'm just going to top you on with the number of frags that I've got.
Yeah. That too,
Brilliant,
very,
brilliant
very big
performance.
scale. Absolutely.
Yeah. The very fact that in the first half Caramel was on the back foot, not getting a lot of opportunities because he was every now and then trying to infiltrate garage. A lot of times he did, but at the same point, those tripwires and Omen or maybe the Yoru, the flashes, it was definitely pushing him forward on the back end. That's why we were pretty much speculating that is Caramel going to be back in his form. He did. But now let's talk about the level of
Yeah.
leaderboard, guys, because the top 3, they are due with the goodies, the right goodies that they're going to get. And on that
Very
leaderboard,
close.
we have Caramel. He's slowly rising, might take the spot of 69G.
He has more kills than anyone right now.
Yeah,
His number of kills has rised above AK Demon. We were thinking that the number 791 is going to be hard to fight off. He already has more kills there. He has way less deaths compared to anyone above him. He's doing a great job, and he's only 5.3 points away from 69G to actually swap the positions. This is unimaginable. And the number of maps, the difference. I mean, AK Demon has 791 kills on 48 maps. Caramel has 792 kills in 43 maps. Give him 5 more maps and we'll see where this goes.
yeah. He needs to fight for that for sure. But yeah, let's talk about
Absolutely.
the top four MVPs in our list right now. Is there some changes? Yeah, we do have Caramel once again sitting in a very good spot. Dogzo. Envy is also there in this list. Interesting. Both
Yep.
of these individuals coming in from DUPG. They are breaking every single records. They're trying to fight back. They're putting up a mental pressure in every single corner, be it the map wins or the MVP wins, or even the title maybe at the end.
True that. 3 kills behind Doxer. Caramel is very close to swapping places for the most MVPs. But Doxer has one more chance. His game is coming up very quickly. And
Yeah.
we'll see how that turns things around.
Dogzer is an individual who has a very good trigger discipline. So for that reason, I definitely would love to see how X Crew is going to fight against them and what kind of a strategy they're going to build against this lad. Because now that it's season 6 already, you know that which particular player is going to be keen on playing what and how he likes to play. So that homework needs to be done from the sides of their opponents. And for that reason, I really believe that the second match that we're going to witness is going to be equally fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, if not more, definitely equal. But yeah, I'm hoping for even more fun than what we already saw.
Yeah. Let's talk about the brackets as well, because there will be certain changes, obviously. And as I said, that this team known as TEC Esports, they have already taken their very first spot. They are the first team to be there in the upper bracket finals in this season 6 of the Showdown series. That is amazing. It's a 2-0 that they were able to pull through, both on EXO and then 120 FPS as well. Now the question is, what will XQ do? Because yesterday as well, against ZeroFrags.exe, who got a 2-0 in the lower bracket, they lost a map. So XQ,
Yes.
if they have not re-strategized their play or figured out what went wrong against ZeroFrags, they might be on a back foot against Asterix, because Aravata Esports, the team which actually put down ZeroFrags.exe with a 2-0, they also received a 2-0 against Asterix. So it is basically one of those equations where once again it feels like that Asterix can have a 2-0. They can have a fun run against XQ.
You're doing the math translative property, right? If A is greater than B and B is greater than C, then A is greater than C. Yeah. I can see that. But yeah, we are gonna be having this very exciting X2 versus Asterisk match at 3 o'clock, which is not very far away. I can stay stuck here, but I think we should give a break to the people though.
Yeah, we'll take for now, and we'll be back at 3 p.m. with the Esports Club Presents Showdown Series, Season 6 of Valorant, powered by Crucial by Macron, GP partner Zodia Gaming, and media partner Gossip.gg. Stay tuned, we'll be back at 3 p.m. Bye bye for now.
When are you gonna upgrade your system? Alright, let's do this.
Once there was a hunter who saw what others could not. With a magic case in her backpack, she roamed with wild abandon into the great unknown. Her gaze inescapable, her reflexes lightning fast. When armies swarmed, she went through. With eyes open wide, hands steady, holding, watching, capturing everything in sight.
The Crucial Pro DDR5 RAM kit comes with a sleek, modern look that will complement any build. But aesthetics aside, it's the performance that really matters. So let's dive into it. The default JEDEC timings are 46, 45, 45, but it does come with 2 XMP and Expo settings for those looking for a little more performance. With XMP 3.0 Profile 1, you can push the speed up to 5600 megatransfers per second. If you prefer a slightly lower speed but tighter timings, Profile 2 offers 5200 megatransfers per second at 42, 42, 42 timings. We've run some benchmarks and stress tests to give you an idea of how it performs. In general, dropping the speed and tightening the timings with the second XMP/Expo profile yielded better results for us on our test system. Paired with a Ryzen 7800X3D, we saw anywhere from a 1 to 5% performance bump depending on workloads. All in all, the Crucial Pro DDR5 64GB RAM kit by Micron is a fantastic choice for first-time builders and enthusiasts alike.